stranger, it's just a friend you've not met yet.
Yeah. So I'm trying to understand by your age, your intelligence, your conclusions, where are you now
I'm
with your age?
61. It's my age.
Bless
my
you.
intelligence, I've got virtually no education. I've got no professional qualifications.
Dependent on our concept of education. So there are some people who
I
have
think
never
when we talk about education, you mean going to school, going to university? That's education.
I think education is a little more broader than that.
No,
so there are some people.
When people talk about education, that would be the first choice.
Yes.
That's the consensus belief of education.
Yes.
Anyway, you've got
it.
my education. I have no skills, no education to speak of. I've got a few bits and pieces, but who hasn't? That's me. I like an argument, really.
Oh, you like an argument?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
I think it's intellectual wrestling. It's fun.
In your private life, are you bored and lonely? Hit a nerve there.
No, bored sometimes,
Lonely.
of course. Who
Ignored.
Isn't? Lonely.
Underloved.
It's
And a little bit of stimulation,
Come on.
provocation
come on.
will work.
I could do with a bit more.
Welcome, Sam.
Hello, mate. Bored? Yes, I get bored. Lonely? Everyone's lonely.
Ignored.
And I work
Underloved.
on that by going out with friends and coming down here and chatting to a friend I haven't met yet, a stranger. So I think most people have got a bit of that. Now, if I was to say to you, I'm not bored, I'm not lonely.
Underloved?
But of course,
Ignored?
I'm a human being. I'm going to get both of those things.
Underloved, ignored,
Underloved?
Ignored?
Everyone could always do with a bit more love, but I realise there are people who've got a lot less love in their life than me, and I shouldn't fucking complain.
So you have some good coping mechanism.
I just live a good life.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that good life. What does that mean?
Why should I? Why do you want to know about that? Why do you want to know about it?
Because I'm having a conversation with you,
Yeah.
and you make it quite clear to me that you do not have a belief system.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand your life, your happiness, what you share.
Why on earth would you want to understand those things? Why do you
It's
want
a process
to
of
understand
learning.
them? Where's this
Curiosity,
going?
process of learning.
Yeah.
It's a conversation. It's
Yeah.
conversations people have.
I'm not really prepared to give up a whole load of information.
Not without
Especially
details.
since you've gone and you've gone into the real human condition, the loneliness, the love, all that kind of thing. I do get lonely sometimes.
No,
I could do with a little bit more love, but I've got plenty and I can't complain. And if I get lonely, it's up to me to make something happen that's going to stop my loneliness. I should join a club or a society. I'm married with a family.
Or come to Speaker's Corner.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Why not?
No, and it's not odd that quite a lot of men in their private life, they're ignored, underloved, lonely, depressed, lack of human connection, and they come here to get some stimulation. And sometimes provocation, hot debates,
I wouldn't say
aggravation,
all of those things.
give them a little bit
I've
of
really felt
life.
all of those 5 things at some stage in my life, but I've learned to cope with them and how to combat them. And as you can say, coming here enriches my life and my experience. And just chatting to another human being like you, it's nice.
So in your 60 years of living,
61.
61, sorry, take 60. Take 60. So in your 61 years of living, in terms of your conclusion, what life is about, what the purposes of life is, where you're there, in answering these big theological questions. What is death about? What is life about? Where are we going? What have I done? What have I not done? Where's your conclusions about that?
What is death about? Death is about the termination of life and the ending of the useful body. It's finished. It's over. That's death. When it's over. It's finished. What was the other one?
Let's take on the death part. Let's stay there for a little while.
Or just stay on death.
Yeah, sure. Let's stay there.
Well, death is the end of life, isn't it?
No.
That's it.
So how would you respond to those who say the flesh, the body will die, the soul will live on, and the soul will live on, and there's a continuation of life as there was life before we were born? So for example, the people who believe in faith and religion will argue, Michael, how you doing? You're right. Yeah, cool, man. They will argue that before we actually were in our mother's womb, we were existing in a different place, in a different state. And then life was given to us in our mother's womb. Then we born here, we shall die and go to the grave and enter into judgment day. What is your take on these thoughts?
It's all made up and no one's got any evidence for it.
Have you always had these thoughts,
No,
or were
I
you
was raised
ever?
a Catholic, as I told Sean.
Okay, so you raised a Catholic.
Yeah, and I had a
And
strong...
was it a practicing Catholic or just Catholic by name?
Well, forced into it by my parents.
Forced. Why would you say forced?
Forced into it.
Why would you say forced?
Because that's how it was. You were dragged off to church on a Saturday. You were taken to confession.
And you did not want to go?
Not really, no. When I was younger, and then I got very interested in religion as I grew older. When I was 16, I became a born-again Christian. And
All right. When was that? 16 years.
And I felt a wonderful sense of joy, and I really felt this thing.
And what
come
changed?
into me. Pretty good, and you?
Yeah, Mick, and what changed? What caused that change?
I just became miserable. The more I got involved in it, the more it made me depressed. You were talking about depression earlier on. Being a
So you had some experiences with depression?
Yes, most people have.
How was that?
It was grim. It was unpleasant.
Yeah.
Have you had experiences with depression?
Every day.
Yeah? Are you depressed every day? Really?
I had my days, yes.
Yes. Oh, there we go. You ever considered suicide?
No, I've never considered it.
You should. It cures a lot of depression. Just like that.
So, Mick, what happened? Tell me, honestly, without giving too much of details.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
An overview.
Come down here
Why
to
have
tell
you made that massive shift from being a born again Christian to complete
Well,
opposite?
I did tell you, if you're listening, it made me very depressed to be a born again Christian.
But all the other Christians who are born again, they're not depressed.
Well,
So there has to be
that's
more to it than that. There are loads of born again Christians here. Look at, this is a born again Christian, Michael. This is a born again Christian. All of these are born again
I can't
Christians.
speak for them. I have my own experience of it.
Exactly. So what is specific to you that caused you to go against Christianity, go against God, and become so agnostic?
I didn't say that I went against Christianity. I didn't say I went against God. I think you're trying to infer that onto me. You're trying to make me conform to what it is you want me to conform to. That's not what happened.
Well,
I
I'm sorry for that.
depressed, And I said to myself, God, if I'm doing the right thing, why does it make me feel so miserable?
Was it an incident? Did you suffer losses?
No.
You don't have no losses in life?
I moved from one group of friends to another. And the other group of friends were just not the kind of people that I was comfortable and happy with. And I was the same for them. So then I found myself completely isolated. And it took me years to realise this was what happened. I'd said goodbye to my friends outside the Christian church. I wasn't compatible with the friends inside the Christian church. I thought I was, but I was lured in by people telling me, Nick, how wonderful to see you, how good, come on over. Blah, blah. You do that for a while, then you get baptised, and then, Nick, just got to go and talk to so-and-so, he's just coming for his first time. And you're gone. And that left me feeling, and I think that's where my depression came from. It took me years to work out what it was. But after a while, I realised that I'd been love-bombed into that born-again Christian church, and then cast aside like an unwanted child, or toy or whatever.
Do you think is group rejection that have turned you away from?
I wouldn't say I was rejected. They have a use for you. They want you to join, and once you're in, they don't really have a use for you anymore. And that left me feeling useless, which probably led on to my depression.
And through that dark stage, you brought you where you are today.
It's a long story, and there's a lot more to it than that. And there's been ups and downs and highs and lows. Not really sure where we're going. What about you? What about your depression? Why did you become... What's the evidence that convinced you that the Quran is a message from God?
It's a good question.
Or is it just faith?
Just faith. What does just faith mean?
Just faith.
What does that mean?
Oh, God. We're going to have to go back to everything. You tell me what you consider the words just faith to mean, and I'll see if it's compatible with the question I asked you.
Well, faith...
You have deflected my question, haven't you?
Which one?
The one about what's the evidence that you use to convince
I'm getting to that.
there is a God.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I'm
getting there. I'm getting there.
No, not really. Do you believe in the tree? We're back there again, aren't we? You're not prepared to give a direct answer, because then you would have to think about whether you've got faith. Hello, mate. What are you doing here? I've lost my...
How you doing? Good to see you. I saw you across there, but you were busy. How's it going? Did you get involved? No. Come on, you have to.
We have discussion. Why don't you come sometime?
Nighttime, what does that mean?
Live streaming, live streaming.
In the night.
Alright. I can invite you to come on and
Who you had on your screen so far?
very good people. I don't know them by name, but I know exactly, but I know by their education. Very that man is,
Abdullah! My camera over there, man.
I'm right here.
No, I was recording you earlier.